All right, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, so we're back with another lesson. And, this one's going to be titled, Their Plans Are His Plans. All right? And the plans that I'm talking about is, these elites, these world leaders, right? Especially with Esau, Edom right here in Babylon, okay? We've seen what's been happening, all right? King Charles just announced that, they're going to bring in them digital IDs, okay? We saw that Donald Trump made that move to China with all them techs, right? Them millionaire and billionaire techs, okay? To go grab the blueprint from China, which is keeping digital scores and, categorizing people. They have a digital system, where they're in total control of what you buy, all right, what you do, okay, what you can access, all right. And it's no coincidence that now in 2026 or 2027, they're making cars now with, kill switches, all right, and cameras, all right. So at any point, they can just shut off your car, all right. This is that new world order being implemented, all right. They're trying to set the next stage. And what they're also doing is they're trying to gain immortality, right, through AI, okay. This is their whole mission, is getting that birthright back. But since they can't get it back, all right, they're going to try to, overcome it, with AI, all right? Because that birthright is what taps into your immortality, man. This is what granted us that access, right? That blessing, okay? But the Lord got different plans. That's why I say their plans are the Lord's plans, okay? Because this digital system that's coming now, all right, is the beginning of Esau's end, all right? Remember, the scripture says that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the one that followeth. So there's going to be an end to Esau's reign, okay? And that MOTB is what's going to trigger it, you see? So at the end of the day, the Lord is in control, and the Lord is going to frustrate, right, the plans of the wicked and all these other heathen, all right? So let's start off, right, with the book of Job, chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 12.
There's a book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty.
You see that? He disappointed the devices of the crafty, okay? And one of the devices that they're going to be using is this MOTB, right? Through AI and all that, right? This new technology that they're bringing forth, okay? So the Lord is disappointing the devices of the crafty, because they're going to think, all right, that this is a foolproof plan until the Lord hits them from the left, right?
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
You see that? So your hand, you're going to be able to launch it, all right, but you're not going to be able to fulfill, all right, its purpose in its entirety, okay? The only reason the Lord is allowing you to do this is to fulfill prophecy, to be justified, all right, with the word that was brought forth, okay, through the prophets. He's going to confirm the word of the prophets, all right, with your next move, all right, bringing in this digital system, the MOTB, okay, and you're going to think you're good. You're going to think, oh, man, we did it, right? But the Lord is going to disappoint you, man. You're not going to be able to perform that, all right? You're not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, okay?
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward and is carried headlong.
You see that? So he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, right? Right? And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong, okay? So basically, you have dig your own ditch, as the scripture says, right, in the book of Psalms, okay? You have digged your own pit, right, with this MOTB, because it is part of prophecy, all right? If you believed in the scriptures, you would know, okay, that this is for this is being implemented for your destruction, for the end of your world, okay? And yeah, you elites know, you elites understand what's going on. But the thing is that, as the scripture says, right, in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1, the incorruptible spirit of the Lord is in all things, right? You see? So no matter, even if you know, we could tell you, hey, listen, man, there's a bear waiting for you over there, a grizzly bear waiting for you, and he hasn't eaten in 3 days, all right? But no matter what, no matter if we warn you, all right, if the Lord's going to direct you in that direction, you can't stop it. You're on autopilot, and that's what's going on with Esau, Edom, man. All right, these elites know what's going on, okay? They understand prophecy. They understand who we are, all right? The average Joe six-pack doesn't, okay? But the Lord is compelling them to do these things. Remember, the hearts of the kings is in the Lord's hand, okay? And he turneth it whithersoever he wants, right? So this is the direction that they headed. That's why the Lord said that he's taking the wise in their own craftiness, right? He's taking them, all right? And he's carrying them headlong, all right? Because this is all part of the Lord's plan, you see? This is not Esau coming up with some miraculous thing, all right? Which a lot of Jake, okay, and these other heathen see Esau as a god because they give him all the credit for what he's done. Not understanding that the Lord, okay, has done all these things. For who has resisted the Lord's will, right? Romans chapter 9, okay? We're just playing a part of the movie. We're just vessels, all right? And the Lord puts the spirit that he wants on whatever vessel to do what he wants, you see? So that's why people don't understand that whatever Esau's doing, okay, is to bring in the end of his chapter, all right? So let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 21, and let's start at verse 8.
There's a book of Psalms, chapter 21, and verse 8. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee.
You see that? Thy right hand, okay? Thine right hand shall find out all thy enemies. Salakia, the hand. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. It's a little bit of sun coming in, so I can't really see it. But it says, thy right hand, who's that? Yahushua shall find out those that hate thee. Okay, and there's nobody more, right, that hates Yahushua more, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua more than Esau Edom, man. All right, the so-called white man. All right? Everything he has done is contrary. He has striven against the Lord since day one. All right, that spirit in the garden, right, that wicked spirit that came as, what they call a serpent, but in reality it was just a crooked man, right? The seed of the serpent, man, the seed of Satan, okay? Which came back to what? Cain and Esau, all right? He's that enemy, all right, along with all the other heathens, okay?
Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand... Oh, wait, no, I already read that.
It's okay, you can read it again.
All right. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them.
You see that? And that's going to be that destruction. You see that? That's going to be that destruction that's coming, okay? And this is why we're eager to see that MOTB come, because we know that that's what's going to usher in the end, okay? There's nothing after that. There's no, second chances. The Lord said, I set bounds that they cannot pass, okay? That MOTB is what's going to bring everything in, you see? So we're waiting for that, because that's what's next. After that is coming what? World War III, right? And then that destruction through thermonuclear fire, all right?
Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men.
You see that? Up Obadiah 1 and 18, okay? Isaiah 14 and verse 21 and 22, okay? The Lord is aiming after the seed. Why? Because he's going to cut Edom off, right, forever, okay? And the seed is what brings back the nationality, all right? So the Lord is going to eliminate, all right, that seed line, the wicked.
For they intended evil against thee.
For they intended evil against thee. And this digital ID, right, this MOTB, this technology, right, is evil, man. Okay? Go ahead.
They imagined a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform.
You see that? That mischievous device, okay, is that RFID chip, okay, bringing in that new world order, all right? And they're not going to be able to perform it, all right? They're not going to be able to perform it because once it's implemented, okay, that only means that the destruction is coming right after that, all right? Matter of fact, let's get something real quick. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3.
There's a book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
You see that? So when they shall say peace and safety, okay? They thought that the new world order is set in place. You know what I mean? They're going to think, you know, everything is good. Their foundation is laid. Everything is built up. Everything is running smooth. They got everything under control. All right? They think they're going to yikwab the children of Israel to take that RFID. But the Lord said, I reserved 7,000 men that would not bow their knee to Baal. All right? So at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get that birthright back. Okay? Sudden destruction is going to come upon you. All right? All these heathen are going to be aiming the missiles at you. Yahweh Shai is going to crack them clouds and come back, right? And make quick work of you. You see? Your plans are going to be decimated because your plans are his plans. You're just a tool in the toolbox, right? Being used, all right, to fulfill prophecy. Okay? A lot of you people bending over for Esau, especially you, Jake, are going to find out the hard way, and it's going to be too late. You're going to be calling on Yeshua. You're going to be calling on Yah, right? You're going to be calling on Yahuwah, all them other crazy names, okay? And you're going to have no answer, okay? Phone's out of order. You see, no dial tone. A dead line, right? Because you didn't want to listen, but that's okay, right? Because you got to fill that lot as well, all right? You people are gonna fall, right? Victim, right? Along with these people, okay? All those that are found with them should be thrust through, okay? First, they're gonna thrust you with the RFID chip, okay? And then you're gonna get thrust with that sword, all right? Whether it's Esau coming after you or them thermonuclear missiles raining down on you, right? So, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 47. All right. Let's start at verse 1 and then we'll jump down to verse 10.
There's a book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
And the virgin daughter of Babylon is America. She come down and sit in the dust. You're going to be sitting in confusion, okay, of why nothing is working. Why, you in the midst of World War III, all right? You thought everybody was, moving accordingly, all right? But as the book of Obadiah says, right, those that were at peace with thee, right, them people are going to turn their back on you, okay? They're going to hate the whore, even your allies. You see, you're going to be sitting in confusion. Go ahead.
Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
All right, so the content here is Babylon, right? America, okay? Which is going to implement this, okay? They got all these other people doing test runs and implementing it, gradually. The snake is gradually, all right, moving closer and closer to strike with venom, right? Okay, so when we go down to verse 10, go ahead.
There's the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
You see that? So you trusted in your wickedness. You think the Lord ain't watching. You think the Lord, matter of fact, the Lord is the one who set you up to do these things. But you think nobody sees you. You see? But the whole time you've been a puppet on the earth. Go ahead.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
You see that? You thought you were a God. And yeah, you were power. Right, but you're not the Most High. You painted yourself as the Most High, right? You acted like you're the Most High. You tried to mimic the Most High. All right? But you're not. Okay? But this is the pride. That's why the scripture says their pride has deceived their heart, your mind. Okay? Go ahead.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee, that thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
You see that? So desolation shall come upon thee suddenly. Let me put this up a little bit for you. I know it's kind of hard to read with this sun.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not going to be able to put it off because the Lord is ordaining this. The Lord is the one, creating this scenario, right? And he gave you the script, and you unknowingly is following that script to a T, okay? To your own demise, all right? Verse 12.
Stand now with thine enchantments.
You see that? Stand now with thine enchantments, right? That was one of your superpowers, deceiving people, all right? And you're gonna deceive many with this RFID chip, this new digital currency.
And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
You see that? And the Lord's being facetious here, okay? Because you're not gonna prevail. He's telling you, go ahead, all right? Turn to your wickedness. Turn to what you've always relied on to see how far that's going to take you. Okay? Let's see what it's going to do. Go ahead.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels.
You're worried, man. You see, you people have been scurrying, running, clawing from the beginning. Okay? Ever since you lost that birthright. Okay? You worried in your councils, man. You in those G4 meetings. Okay? You in those summits and, all types of different council you're having. You got Trump going up there with all his technology buddies, okay? They're all worried in their council, man. They just trying to figure this thing out, all right? But guess what? As the scripture says, there shall be no peace upon the wicked, man, all right? Go ahead.
Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Right. They're going to try to take counsel. Hey, what do you think is going to happen next? And this and that. They got stargazers. They're out there watching for Yahweh Shai to come back. Why you think there's a lot of reports of UFOs and, the alien talk and Artemis. All these things is them trying to prepare. All right? But it's going to be to no avail. All right? To see, right? Is to see if they can, the Lord telling you, see if they can save thee from these things that are coming, right? Which is what? Your destruction.
Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them.
You see that? The fire shall burn them, okay? Again, that thermonuclear destruction.
They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
You see that? So at the end of the day, no matter what you do, everything you're doing is in vain. What you're doing is just ushering in, all right, your destruction. You see? You think that you could have gone to a plan B? Well, it's funny that a plan B in this society is to kill is to delete a baby. Okay? So your plan B is going to work exactly like that. Okay? Your plan B was for your own destruction. You sold your birthright. You couldn't get it back. Now you're trying to get immortality through AI, all right? You think everything's going to be all good, but as 1 Thessalonians 5:3 said, sudden destruction is going to come upon you, okay? And that's why you people are losing your minds, man, all right? The average American is losing his mind, seeing it through the spirit, all right, that something is wrong, something's off. This ain't, as they say, this ain't the same America I once knew, okay? Because it's at their tail end, all right? It's at their tail end. And once they implement this demonic system, okay, that's it. The Lord's coming to take the head off the snake, all right? to kill the body. So their plans is the Lord's plans, and there's no way around it. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying, and with that, we're going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwame Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.